Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Robbie Rhino and today is the first in a series I'm going to do called the worst tanks to play in World of Tanks console. And first up is a newly released tank within the Sturmtiger line, the Sturmtiger line, the Sturmtiger P, which is the tier 8. And Christ, this is awful. I show you a couple of good games. It took me quite a while to have a good game, and I will tell you all about the tank and why I think this is one of the worst tanks to play in the game. It can be fun, don't get me wrong, when your shells hit, and when you get to the goddamn battle because it's so freaking slow, but yeah, we'll see why. So this tank, this line, the Sturmtiger line, is obviously synonymous for having massive guns, and this is no exception. It has a 22cm gun, fully upgraded, that deals 1000 damage with its HE rounds. It has premium HE, which has more splash, and regular HE, and 780 damage with 262 on its AP rounds. I carry a ratio of 10 AP to 26 premium HE because I don't bother with the crappy normal HE. Yeah, and there are some awful things about this tank. Max speed's for 35 kilometers an hour. It hardly ever gets up to it because it's got a god awful 670 horsepower engine with a 9.8 power to weight ratio. It reverses at 12 kilometers an hour, which is awful. The traverse speed is 21 degrees, which is awful. The view range is pretty pathetic at 370. I mean, it's not awful. It's not awful, but it's still pretty pathetic. The hit points is nice at 1500. Obviously, the gun can be nice, and you don't always have to aim your shots to penetrate. Well, to do damage. If you're using the HE, you can just splash. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty horrendous, this grind. I'm nearly finished it now. I'm nearly at the bar, and I think I'm gonna pre-XP looking at that, or it'll probably be the second addition to this series. Another bad thing about this tank is the gun depression. Looking at it, it doesn't look like it'll have much at all, and yeah, pretty right. It's 2 degrees. Elevation is nice at 40, so you can look up, you just cannot look down. So sometimes you have to sort of reverse and put your sort of tank up to get the shells in, and as you can see there, we switched to the HE round just to do damage. We're in a tier 10 game, so it shows you can have good games at tier 10. You just have to play extremely carefully. Oh, that was nasty. AP round right into the sort of top deck of the T54 E2, and yeah, we racked up 1.1k damage. So equipment wise, I run the advanced reloader skill where you can swap the shells because it's just tailor-made for this line, and I think it's a necessity because you don't know what you're going to come up against. You want to be able to do at least some kind of damage. I also run a gun lane drive because of the high caliber. The gun aims in. It takes a horrific amount of time to aim in. I think aiming time is 3.3 seconds base. Accuracy is 4.8, which is horrific. It trolls you like a mother buzzer. Yeah, and as you can see, there are a lot of negatives. There are some positives, but the negatives far outweigh the positives with this tank. But yeah, like I said, it can be fun when you hit and when you pen. It can be fun. Like that was fun, killing that T54 E2. It's a pretty, it's not overpowered, but it's a pretty damn good tank, and it was fun to take that tank out. But yeah, I think the highlights of this line probably are the tier 7, which I'll have some replays coming up soon, and I haven't got to the tier 10, but it does look a lot more competitive, even if it isn't obviously the most competitive tank at tier 10. It looks fun as well. So commander wise, what would I recommend? Well, personally, on the commander that I use, I run 6 cents, Born Leader, rapid reloading, steady aim and rapid aim, snapshot, mark target to add 3 seconds to the duration of the targeted enemy detection, and a couple of camouflage skills. You pick. Camouflage expertise is what I use, and silent driving, because the camo isn't too bad for such a big tank. The armor it's the Ferdinand basically. You know, you're occasionally going to bounce lower tier, but higher tier you won't. Yeah, and so this gameplay, what am I doing on this game? Where we are here in this G6 location. I didn't want to be aggressive in this game, especially a tier 10, because once you're kind of out in the open, once you're in a position, you've kind of, it takes you a long time to get anywhere else. It takes you, you know, I don't know, a good part of a few minutes to cross, I don't know, from here to the other side of the dip, for instance, and it's just an absolute nightmare. And you'll see I'm having physics problems. I'm trying to get the gun down, but I do manage to get it down and realise, oh, I wasn't firing the premium HE, so I could have done some damage there, but I didn't. Yeah, that was on me, but I'm going to blame the tank because, you know, I've always blamed the tools, right? But yeah, with the HE you could damage a lot of modules and damage the commander, which, you know, that's always a bonus. You can sort of debilitate a tank in that sense. It can be very useful. Look, it's lightly armoured tanks, and you'll have some great pens, you'll have some fun moments, but for the most part it's horrific, especially if you're playing it for game after game and you're grinding. I don't recommend playing this for a whole session because you'll probably end up uninstalling and playing a different game. And yeah, I mean, with all of my equipment and commander skills, my concealment value is 345 meters and my view range is up to 385. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's still not brilliant. I've noticed some of my tier 10s have finally got the balls to go forward, so I'm going to go forward, and I've spotted this Waffly 100, and HE, I'm going to pen it, right? Yeah, no, wait, reverse, get the gun down, please go down, please go down. I'm going to pen now, and I don't pen, but I do set him on fire. I think it must have just missed the turret sort of shield and went down onto his hull or something. Oh, God knows what happened, but you know, you still do a substantial amount of damage because it is such a large gun, and this T-5042 thinks he's clever, puts 2 into me, and I'm just waiting for him to come out. I try and fire my HE at the tracks to do some splash damage and keep him there, but I miss because the gun is a bit of a knob. But yeah, I'm backing up, keeping my reticle focused on this T-5042 because I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming up again to try and finish me off, and I just want to be able to splash him. This E100 is next to me. The Badger puts 1 into me and leaves me on 4 hit points. I got 4 hit points in a dream, but I've seen it's like a polar poking out. I put a nice juicy shot of AP into the T-5042, and that's why that skill is so goddamn good to have, where you can just switch the shells instantaneously. Managed to reload just in time, get an HE shell into the T-5042, finish him off. I'm just trying to play, you know, cat and mouse with this Badger behind me, trying not to get hit with the Kampfpanzer in front of me, and yeah, I'm just trying to stay alive for as long as possible to let my team try and help me take this one down. They are on the hill, they are covering me. I probably get a little bit frustrated, I think, in this game, so I feel like they could have come down because I thought that they had more hit points than they did, but it turns out they didn't. Spoiler alert. And right now, I wanted to sort of go forward to try and catch this Kampfpanzer when he pokes up unawares. But, you know, as you can see, the 2 degrees of gun pressure isn't even good enough for this position. I'm reversing up, trying to hope to find a little bit of a sort of ridge where I can bounce my tank up and get the gun down. And right now I'm just going to try and hide in this nook and bait these tanks to come and get me so that the tanks behind me can come to my assistance, basically. And as I'm reversing up, I think I get spotted and shut down now. It's been a while since I've played this game, but I'm asking for assistance. But as you can see, I mean, that Yahtzee could take a shell off the Badger or the Kampfpanzer, but I don't blame them at all for being sort of glass cannon and TD sat up there on the hill. Now, I was thinking now, right, what can I do to try and win this game? I feel like those tanks aren't going to come down off the hill. I want to try and make a play, try and spot the artillery, so I was going to go down the bridge. I'm going to try and spot into the middle of the map. And you'll see just how like cumbersome this tank is. It's so slow, it turns so slow, it's just, I don't know, it's just sad. I just feel sorry for it. Sometimes I'm not even angry at the tank, I feel sorry for it. I wanna like tanks like this with big guns. I love big alpha, I love derp guns, but I'm finding it hard to love this. So that can't find a spot. I'm going to try and get into position to get a shot into his rear. Because of the traverse speed so poor, I think it's 21 degrees like I said earlier, I'm not going to be able to turn in time to get the shot in if I get spotted. So I'm just hesitating on whether to do it. And I don't really want to start playing with turning around on a bridge, because I know that I'm probably going to auto-drive off of it or something stupid. And then I wouldn't have been able to use this replay. Spoiler alert, I'm getting nothing out of this game. I'm just wasting my time here, because you can't go down here anymore since they've redone the map, which I thought was a bit annoying, but you know, I'm going to go onto the bridge. I'm going to try and spot the waffle. I think I saw that juicy target. I wanted to finish the waffle 100 off. But as I go over, I get spotted and I stop. I thought I could get back in time, but no, because there's only reverses at 12 kilometers an hour. I am pinging the base. I don't recommend you do that. It's not probably the best idea for me, because I'm going to be thanking these players very shortly for their performance in taking this game down. Spoiler alert. I won't bore you with the details. I will just cut to the end, and you can see the end result of this replay linking it into the next one. So I'll see you there in a bit. So as you can see, we do eventually win that game. 2 kills, 2.8k direct damage, finish MVP, 131 assistance damage, lose a bit of silver because of the premium HE, but yeah, it's not bad in a tier 10 game, and the next game is a lot better, so I shall see you there in a bit. So here we are in the second replay of this video. We're here on Cliff, and unfortunately we're still in the Sturmtiger P. But yeah, let's see what we can do in this game. I like this map. I think the matchmaking, as I'll check in a minute, is actually a lot kinder than it was. Yeah, it's a tier 8 game, so I'm feeling a lot more confident. Because of the poor mobility, my first thing to think about is just getting into position to get an early shot off, down the 1-on-2 line basically. My camo, although it's not too bad on a map like this, it's a fairly small map, especially where I'm going to get spotted if I shoot, but I feel like I can get to a rock and just pull around the rock, shoot, pull back round. And I'm hoping to get a shot early, which is why I boosted the food already, the combat rations, in the hope that a light tank's going to come down. And as I just go down this slope, he just gets spotted, and I don't unfortunately get a chance to get a shot in. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the in the last replay is because of the type of gun, the shell velocity is extremely slow. You're going to have to learn to, if you want to play this sort of as effectively as possible, you're going to want to learn to lead your targets, practice firing a few shots with this gun and seeing how they fly. You could loot the shells over ridges, which is cool. That's something you can't do in a lot of tanks. You kind of want to play this like a mini, and the whole line basically, I think, like a mini sort of artillery. We're using the skill where we can change our shells willy-nilly, the advanced reloader, and we change to premium HG. We finish that Yahtzee off blind and get 296 damage for it. This T28 Prot is behind something, I can't get a shot in, but I've seen this SG-100 fire a shot and that goes into the abyss. I didn't aim, to be fair, but you know, some shots fully aimed will do that with this tank, even if you have a 9-skill commander and all the equipment and all the bells and whistles. Just want to be patient with this tank basically. I'm not going to go all guns blazing, but you don't also want to be so patient that you let the game pass you by. I've noticed there are tanks to my right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get spotted by that tank to the right, but I get actually spotted by the light tank in front of me. I managed to pick up 200 assistance for just being in the presence of that light tank, which is nice, and any kind of XP I can get in this tank to get through this grind is, you know, it's perfect basically. And I make a lot of mistakes in this game, purely due to frustration. I think this was my last game and my last session last night, so as this goes out, it'll be 2 days ago. But yeah, I go around the corner and I make the classic problem of auto-aiming, and I fire behind the general because of the terrible gun depression 2 degrees. Fortunately, I don't take more than just one shot. This T-2065 is a pain in my side, and again, fire. I was going to auto aim, but I was like, no, no, I'm going to aim this one. I fire an AP into the lower plate of the T-2065 and blow its head off, which is perfect. Ammo rack is going to make my damage look like I'm a good player when I'm not. Nah, I'm alright. But yeah, that was fun. And again, look, just want to get round. It's so slow to get round, but I auto lock on from that range. If I missed, I should have done a little bit of damage. But we finished off that P43. So poor Italian tier 7. I think it's 7, 6 or 7. Goes back to the garage. We're going to go up here. There's no artillery anymore on the enemy team. It's a very fast-paced game, as a lot of games can be nowadays. And this Yats is chasing this medium, but he didn't count on me being here. And with the AP round, I try an angle to bounce, but I'm just going to get a shot in. 796 damage, fantastic. Absolutely beautiful roll there. And now he's on 55 damage. I'm going to try and angle up and hope that he kind of bounces off my superstructure. But I think he just pens me through my track, but I just turn and snap it at his track with the HE. And anywhere near him, gust of wind was going to kill him, so my massive 22cm shell would have as well. And I know there's a Barask on the hill. Looking down, he's going to pen me and he's going to finish me off. But the CS-63 obviously underestimated the reload, which I sort of forgot to mention is actually fairly decent with the commander skills and the equipment. I think you'll see in a minute as it reloads. I've got mine down to about 13 seconds, 13.4 seconds. So it's not bad if you're penetrating. If you're missing your shots and just splashing, then it's not always fantastic, but you know, what can you do? And I'm trying to get as close to this hill as possible so the Barask has to overexpose. The heavies are down in J7, so I don't have to worry. This Barask, thinking about it, I think I'm going to try and juke him. I'm going to go up to the hill and then go right now and go round the outside of the cliff, and I'm going to try and stick as close to the cliff as possible, because even if he pokes over, I've got that 40 degrees of elevation, and I know I can get my gun up and shoot him, where a lot of tanks actually can't. So that is one positive to this tank. I've got 3k damage, 1200 assistance, and I've blocked 780, and right now it's a good game, and I want to make it even better. And I see this Barask. I think he's going to come over to get one more shot in. I'll try and get around as quick as possible. Auto aim now. There we go. And a beautiful HE round penetrating the Barask. Pesky Barask, and yeah, that was an enjoyable shot, and we're now at 3.7k direct damage. And there's one tank left. It's the creature, you know, the recent Halloween tank, which I looked at in my last video. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. That would really help me out. But I know he's in the corner because I was targeted. I'm on 4 hit points. If he's firing HE, he's going to kill me. If he's firing, the heat rounds of 110 pen, most likely he won't. Depending on where he's shooting, of course. I give him my side. Oh crap, I'm dead. But luckily, he whiffs it because these guns are so unpredictable. And I don't know whether he can't reverse or he doesn't, but I decide to put an HE shell right into the top of the tank and finish him off. And we get up to 4.1k damage. Yeah, 1200 assistance, 780 blocked. Well, we finish MVP, and I didn't realise, but we had 7 kills in that game, which is awesome. Lose a little bit of silver, and I don't care about losing 708 silver. I get that mastery badge. Devastator Top Gun, high caliber, and yeah, a good game, even a great game for this tank. 2005 base XP. But yeah, it's not a fun tank. It's one of the worst to play. It's a challenge. Maybe not for a new player, but for an experienced player, you can have good games, just not all the time. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the support. I hope you have an awesome weekend, or you're having an awesome weekend as this goes out. And I will see you on the battlefield, and bye for now.